Hello, folks. Here we are. We're about 1 minute late. We were supposed to go on at 6:30, but anyway, tonight we're looking at Bud Light Lime, and this beer was introduced in 2008, so it's been on the market for 8 years. It's made by, we know who it's made by, Anheuser-Busch InBev. And I did, before I get into the specifics of it, my mustache was itching me. People say my Hitler mustache. Did Hitler have a mustache that went from one corner of his mouth to the other?
9.
No, he had one that was right under his nose. So anyway, whatever, if you want to believe all that. All right, now, yeah, remember Hitler's big goatee? All right,
What are you talking about?
History lessons.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Good story, Jay.
We have Tanya, who is often unable to join us because of work-related issues, but today she was able to join us. And we have Eric. Hello, Tanya. And she's from Northern California. We have Eric from Southern California and his friend Rafe. And they're on either side of the camera, kind of off the camera, but we can pick up.
No one can see us.
Okay, we can see you when you talk. That's good. And then from the East Coast, with Massachusetts beer reviews, Thomas Meadow, Eric.
Hola.
And from the Gulf Coast, only 1 mile from the Mississippi River, here I am. I can literally hear the boats in the river, like when you'll hear them, boom, boom. Okay, Louisiana Beer Reviews, me. Okay, I brought up this interesting PDF file from Anheuser-Busch InBev, and it's oh, has anyone here never had this product?
I've never had Bud Light Lime.
I also don't believe I have ever had it.
Tanya?
I had it a couple years ago.
Tanya?
Never.
Okay, that'll be interesting. 116 calories, 4.2% alcohol. Oh, it's brewed at probably all 12 of the breweries, I would suspect. Although, if you look on their website, they kind of give you a rundown. If you got time to do all the digging, they'll tell you where, like, at this brewery, we produce these brands, and at this brewery, these brands, and you don't really need to know that. But it says American-style light lager. So Tanya is our style person, and Maria is watching, and she's our style person from the East. Tanya's our style person from the West. Let me enable question and answer, although almost no one ever does it. Okay, it says it combines the superior drinkability of Bud Light with 100% natural lime flavor. So let's think about the taste profile while we're drinking on this. Light-bodied brew with delicate malt sweetness, clean, crisp finish, and the taste of a fresh squeezed lime for ultimate refreshment. Perfect for summer refreshment, Bud Light Lime is a refreshing change of pace that offers beer drinkers the same great taste they'd expect from Bud Light, with a refreshing twist of 100% natural lime flavor. All right, now, ingredients. A combination of barley malts, they don't say which ones, but it's a combination of barley malts, non-malted cereal grains, which means what? Rice or corn, probably rice.
Right.
Subtle hopping of some sort, and natural lime flavor. It tastes great, ice cold, straight from the bottle, or over ice. Over ice. And pairs well with, yeah, and it says it pairs well with spicy grilled meats and fresh fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Now, let me find my screen again for the hangout. Okay, Tanya, what else do you have there?
Oh, can you see my other beer?
I saw you swigging something else.
Angel City IPA.
Nice.
Look at that.
Just in case.
Just in case. Now, just in case you didn't get drunk off the. Oh wait, what is that Rafe doing?
Walk away?
Oh, that's the doggone one I can't ever find.
That's a great
You got to
beer.
come to Southern California.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Or Northern California.
Or Massachusetts.
we get Kona lager, or we get Kona, the longboard, or we get Kona, what's that one? The golden ale,
Big Wave.
big wave. And there's some other Kona I saw the other day.
There's Kona Coconut Porter. Have you
Mhm.
seen that one?
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Super expensive.
That's why I didn't buy it. I said, too high.
Yeah. I bought it just to be like, yeah, I tried that. It was, yeah.
The smell of this beer, I know I'm just hopping in, but like, Lord, it smells like a lime-flavored Jolly Rancher.
It's
Like right off the bat, it's just overpowering. It doesn't smell like real lime. It's got that like sweetness to it. Like it
Yeah.
smells like straight up like candy.
Okay, well, hold on just a second. Now, let's do the appearance first.
Sorry.
It looks very...
Hold on. So, would you consider this, are you going to look at this as an American light beer or as a fruit beer?
I would say it's an American... I would call it, Tanya, a flavored American light beer.
That's not really a category.
Okay, let's say it's a light beer because they're saying on their PDF file, they're saying American style light lager. Okay?
Okay, I got that. Check.
Okay, so that's what they're calling it.
not very light, but it is a light
They
beer.
do have beers that they call fruit and vegetable beers, though, like their
Right.
Budweiser Clamato Chilada.
Ugh.
Right, I feel like the fruit beers that are in that same category are actually like brewed with fruit, like, I can't think of an example. Like Purple Haze with raspberries in it. It's actually has actual raspberries in it.
Right, and the Bud Light Clamato Chilada has tomato juice in it.
I would review Clamato, actually. Like, I'm more interested in that than this. And I'm actually interested in trying to do, like, have one of those and then have, like, my own homemade version as well.
Okay.
Beside it,
I will do that with you, and let me say this. The thing about the Clamato Chilada, you drink one of those tall cans and you don't need to eat supper because it is like a meal. No, it's not. It's like you drank supper. And I'm serious. I mean, it's like filling. Oh, it's good, but it's filling.
I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm gonna be quite honest with this appearance, Jay, and I'm looking at it in the light right now because when I put it towards the camera, on my end you can't really see it all that well. And I have that 11-ounce Anheuser-Busch taster glass from the Merrimack, New Hampshire brewery, and it literally, this is about the most carbonated champagne-looking beer I have ever seen in my life. It's very, very straw pale, yellow kind of a color like a Bud Light is, but it is so effervescent. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pale. But wait, though. There's a variable there. Those glasses have an etched bottom.
Correct. Yes, they do.
It's going to
And
make.
I don't get a lot of carbonation from other beers quite like this.
Look, his is doing it a lot more than mine. Mine has no bubbles whatsoever, whereas his is having quite a large amount. You can see all the bubbles collecting on the bottom, whereas mine doesn't have any there.
Yeah.
I would say the glass.
Look carefully. Look carefully. If you've got good lighting, you might see some particulate matter. I do.
Very fine amounts. I'd still say it's pretty well filtered, though.
It's well filtered, but there's the finest particles.
And the head of my beer totally died to nothing.
Yeah, it's gonna fizz away.
I don't know if that would be more than the other beer.
I do like one thing. I popped the can, and it's a good 25-ounce can, and I think it was $2.75. It's not the cheapest thing on the market, but it's a popular beer. It's one of the top 20 best-selling beers in America. So they're going to charge because they know they can get it. Okay.
$2.50 for me.
$2.50, huh? But I was glad that I opened the can and poured it and didn't spill everywhere like they tend to do.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go from, ladies first, west to east, and you give the aroma, and I'll go last.
I think it smells a lot like that lime powder I can't even think of what it's called, limonado or something like that, that you use to like rim glasses or put on pop candy or whatever. That's what it smells like to me. What's that?
I agree with that completely.
I think it smells like, you know how you can buy the lime, not an actual lime, but the plastic lime with lime juice in it? Or
Yeah.
to me, it smells like that type of fake lime juice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go one at a time, and then we'll let each person give a complete thought. So back to Tanya, and then we'll go.
No, that's it. It just smells like lime stuff to me, not lime. Like there's a difference if I put like a slice of lime in the top of a Corona, and it smells like lime. This is different.
Okay.
Lime soda, maybe. I don't know. All right, that's it.
Yes, I very much agree with that. It has that smell of lime soda. And remember, there's like those Orangina bottles that are like the effervescent orange soda stuff, and they have like a version of that that's like lime. It reminds me of that. It's almost like it's like Mountain Dew. You know, it's like a Mountain Dew smell almost. It's definitely not normal lime juice, and there's definitely an element of almost like, to me, it smells like sugar. Like it smells like sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, right away, I kind of skipped appearance, but yes, very, very light straw color. There was like the head disappeared immediately, no lacing whatsoever. All that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But yeah, the smell is like just like some sweet soda candy, fake lime. Yes.
I would definitely agree with a lot of those statements, but the first thing that came to my mind was definitely that Sierra Mist Sprite kind of a scent to it. And I am getting, and if I look in there, and it's actually not really that hard, and maybe for some folks, I bet, because I don't think the lime is, I think the lime obviously is the lime flavor is the dominating aroma. Yes, first and foremost, but I am getting that ricey, grainy paperiness in the background from the actual Bud Light product itself. So it's definitely lemon lime type soda, and then the adjuncts and the grains of the Bud Light, aroma. So basically, that's all that I determined from its aroma.
Okay. Any more comments, Rafe?
Just that it doesn't really have a smell like beer at all. You almost can't tell it's beer.
Which might be part of its appeal, because think about who's drinking it. It's probably not people that are like really big into beer culture.
Yeah.
But people that are into drinking culture. You know what I mean?
But that does fit with the style guidelines where it says low to no malt aroma.
Okay.
So it does fit there so far.
Now, my impression of the aroma, I don't drink a lot of soft drinks like y'all were talking about, Sierra Mist and Mountain Dew and all that. So it's been a long time since I drank that stuff. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of key lime pie.
Yeah. That kind of sweetness with it too. Yeah, the sweetness.
Yeah. And that maybe the grains are giving it like the pie crust, and that sugar that Eric Anderson was talking about. It's like kind of like key lime pie, but I mean, obviously, it's not that. I say it's just like that a little bit. It does, if it makes you think of it, then it must be right, because I try to always say what comes to mind first, because it might be something to it.
Exactly.
Just call me Mr. Anderson.
Huh?
Just call me Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
From the Matrix.
Prince Anderson. I don't know if it smells like really fake, but like I don't have a bunch of experience with lime in general, and I don't like Jolly Ranchers, but I've eaten them, but I don't like them. And Because Jolly Ranchers leave like this stinging thing in your mouth after you finish.
Do we really know what Anheuser-Busch means when they say natural lime flavor?
No.
Yeah, what did the ingredients list say? Did it actually list lime?
Well, I'm on tapintoyourbeer.com, and they say literally again, just like their commercial description, one of the ingredients is natural flavor.
Natural lime flavor.
And they also have citric acid, but that must be to preserve it or something.
So that could be a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
They may not use lime at all.
It can be anything that comes from nature that creates the lime flavor. It could be that.
Right, and it's going to have to go along with the Food and Drug Administration guidelines. Now, and they're kind of liberal in their allowance of what that means.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's not artificial, because artificial is a whole different world, and so it's, you know, it's going to be regulated. So
not made up in a laboratory, the lime flavor.
It might be made up in a laboratory with natural
components.
Yeah, components. I was reading a good amount a few weeks ago on the U.S. government regulatory website about wine, beer, and spirits, and it's pretty extensive. Of course, it'd take you forever to read it all. Now, the most important part, happy liquor lovers, is like Swillengrog used to say, is the taste. And it's only 4.2% alcohol, so it's not going to get you too hammered. It's not like we're drinking that Natty Daddy from 2 weeks ago where I had to go splash my face with water.
Holy hell, yeah, that was bad.
Somebody was like, man, that seems to really have affected you. And I'm like, yeah, no joke. I couldn't stand up straight. Yeah, it affected me.
Come on now.
People said, who's my daddy? I said, Natty.
We're all not the size of Chris Farley here, all right?
Right. So it was funny that the guy made that comment, because I was so embarrassed. You know, I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I hope nobody notices this effect. And I'm on the video like, I think they noticed. But that wouldn't happen with something like this. So, Tanya, you give us your impression of this thing here.
Flavor-wise?
Yeah.
Mm.
Not good, right?
Well, it's like candy beer. It's not sweet, but it's Zima. Oh my God, that's what it reminds me of. It tastes like Zima.
Oh, Zima, that was terrible stuff.
That's what it reminds me of. I mean, it's carbonate, bitey with its carbonation, and it's kind of zesty with that lime. It really reminds me of Zima. Super light, Yeah,
I think Zima was like 6%. It was like a malt liquor.
Yeah, it was a malt liquor. Yeah.
That thing would get you like, you take a few sips and you starting to do that with your mouth, right? Like, yeah, the old Zima, which is still made, still in production, Zima, and I think it's Zima Gold, but it's only sold in Japan. Japan is the only country that would tolerate it, and they actually like it. Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt, Tanya. Keep going.
No. Anyway, it's very light. Like it really has very little beer flavor. But that's the style. It should be very light and very crisp, and it is in that respect. But the lime flavor doesn't stick around. It's not really impressive. It's not limey. Like I know there's like a tactile sensation when I have lime, and this isn't it. So I don't know. It's probably not the worst thing I've ever drank.
It's not Steel Reserve.
So that's that.
Well, y'all have never tried the 6% Steel Reserve.
No,
so
you keep saying that to me. One day I'll get it somewhere.
I'm still telling the truth. Hey, Eric, and now somebody's contacted me on Google Plus. Don't do that now. Eric and Rafe, what do y'all think about the flavor? Your impressions?
So I actually expected it to be sweeter than it was. and because of the nose, and it wasn't as sweet as I thought it was going to be. It's I mean, I agree with most of what Tanya said. I mean, you can kind of taste the typical Budweiser notes underneath the lime flavor, which is also actually, I thought the lime flavor was going to be a little bit more dominating than it was because it dominates the nose so heavily. But well, the lime is definitely a large contributing factor to the flavor. Um, it's not the only thing you taste, but I mean, the rest of it is very. I mean, the beer itself is a subtle. It's a light lager. It's just like Budweiser. It's not a powerful, a very strong flavor in and of itself. Anyway, so I mean, it comes off as a very light beer. The lime, like I said, it's not overpowering, and there's nothing really offensive about it. Like I could see people drinking this. I mean, it's really not terrible. It's not like Steel Reserve. I found cloyingly sweet, and therefore I really was unable to drink it. There's nothing in it really that I find to be offensive in the taste.
Steel Reserve actually gets you drunk, though.
That's true, unless you get the. I mean, the 6 could, but the 8.1 definitely.
Oh, the 6%, you'll feel it, but it's the 6% Steel Reserve is a lot more pleasant. I mean, I'm telling y'all, you gotta believe me. Most people in America can't get a hold of this, so they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, final note is it's very drinkable. I mean, there's nothing that stands out about it. Having taken a sip, I can see why people would drink it. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and we're going to get to you in a minute, Jean. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, sorry guys. It's going to be kind of quick. It's going to probably be in and out. So go ahead.
Right on.
All right, we'll get to you very quickly. Eric.
Yeah.
This thing is geared toward people that are at the pool, at the apartment complex, drinking it, and maybe eating some chicken fajitas. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it would go great with something like that. If you just want to pound back a beer, you're not looking to get drunk, you want to drink a few beers, casually, enjoy it with some spicy.
You walk out the damn road.
I think this is actually a fairly good choice for that. If you're not into IPAs, you think they're too bitter, if you're not really much of a beer drinker, but you want something that's tasty, give you a slight buzz with some chicken tacos, this is probably the way to go, actually. It's really not that bad. And, I mean, I don't know if it's really, I probably would prefer a Budweiser with lime squeezed into it fresh, but, I can kind of see why people would buy it.
You get what they're going for, in other words, yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that. And my flavor assessment.
Now hold on, Eric.
Yeah, sure.
I think Jean's got to leave pretty soon, so I'm going to let Rafe say what he wants to say, and then we're going to go straight to Jean because he's on a time situation.
Mine's really quick, so.
Okay.
I'm tasting lime, water, and corn syrup. That's all I'm tasting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tasting any barley or any hops.
Oh, it's Sacred. Sacred Sleeper says, "Sup, fellas?" And I'm saying, "Hello, Sacred Sleeper."
All right.
Sacred Sleeper wanted to join us, but I could never get in contact with him. And it's one of those kind of things where people have their settings, I think, in a certain way where you just cannot adequately communicate, and I think they interpret it as me trying to blow them off, and I'm not. I cannot get through to these people. Okay, so Jean, and then we're going to get to reviewing under influence. Jean, what do you think? I know Jean's got to go.
Okay, first of all, good evening, everybody. Hello, Tanya. Hello, the panel. Everybody, how y'all doing? First time I'm tasting this, you know what? I don't know whether or not Tequila was brought up during the first part of the conversation, but this is what this beer reminds me of, a lot of. If y'all may remember Tequila, that was, I guess, Anheuser-Busch answer to Corona with the whole beer and the lime. This has very little taste to me, and it tastes exactly like it. It's not, it's all it is beer with squeezed with lime. And again, it reminds me of tequila, maybe the same recipe, but for a day like this, is very humid. Jay, being down here in the Gulf Coast region, this is not that. I mean, it's a good beer for have this time of year, but that's all I would say I would have this beer for. Just hanging out in the backyard. It's hot. It's a late afternoon. You want to swig a few back. Outside of that, really not much else to say about this beer.
So what you're saying is kind of like what I say a lot. It's a drinking beer, not a contemplative beer.
Exactly. Give me give me Milwaukee's Best Light. Give me anything else, and I'll squeeze some lime into this. But outside of that, really ain't much to be desired about this beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we want to go to, and Jean, don't feel bad if you got to just jump off. I understand when you got drinking beer, not a contemplative beer. Yeah, Tanya, that's like one of those working things I work with, that I use to
explain.
Sort of have a perspective.
Guys, let me go. I will talk to y'all next week.
All right, Jean, one more thing. Would you ever buy it again?
Probably not, no.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now, yeah, so that's what I use, Tanya, like a drinking beer, you just buy, you drink it, But a contemplative beer would be like Sierra Nevada Porter. It was made so you think about it, while you're drinking it.
Yeah, I would take that a step further and say that it's not even a beer that I would buy, although I jump ahead here. It's a beer that I would drink if somebody's like, hey, I have some beer. And I'm like, okay, I'll drink that. I didn't buy it. I don't have to. I'm not responsible for it. And I'm like, great, it's a free beer. Thanks.
Right. I can go along with that. Now, we're going to go up to Canada, to Alberta, reviewing Under Influence, and now we've gone international. And
how long ago did this start? I totally forgot about the hangout and realized, oh shit, right, Jay.
We're Canadian.
Well, thank you for forgetting about me, man. I appreciate that.
Sorry, dude. I've had a long days of work, so. Yeah. But yeah, haven't had this beer in probably about 5 years, something like that, and really looking forward to trying it out again. I'm drinking it in this bottle.
Good.
5 years.
Yeah.
Brown bottle as opposed to the clear bottle in America. Interesting.
Yeah, no skunkiness, I guess. But yeah, started off with about that much of a bright white, fluffy, pillowy head, faded to nothing like a cider. But yeah, very clear, bright yellow, really nice looking beer. Tons of carbonation, as you can see. But off the aroma, like a lemon soda, or lime soda, sorry. Bit of a beer aroma as well. It actually smells quite pleasant. I haven't tasted it yet, so cheers.
Tanya, that's what he has behind him.
Yeah, I thought so. I can't even see it because it's green. It's pixelated, but I was like, I know that beer.
Yeah.
What's that, sorry?
She was asking about a beer that was behind you, and I said, that's it.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. 8 Maids and Milking. Yep.
Got a bottle of that I'm cellaring now.
Man, Jordan is down in this thing.
That's the kind of beer it is.
Yeah, it's really designed for what he's doing.
But do you like what you're drinking?
I mean, I was born with crossed muscles here, and it's really hard for me to drink beer, like chugging-wise, but this goes down insanely.
Exactly.
Insanely. So do you think it tastes all right? Oh, yeah, he said he thought it tasted okay. Hey,
well, taste-wise, I'm not getting much at all. I mean, I get the lemon, like a real lemon, or the lime, sorry, the real lime, you know, the squeeze bottles, that kind of lime. And I'm getting a really faint Bud Light kind of aroma, or taste. The nice bready, biscuity malt way in the background, bit of sweetness, and that's pretty much it. I'm not getting any off flavors at all. It is a really well brewed beer, even though it is a style of beer I do despise, honestly, just because I'm a craft nerd. But yeah, I can't fault it. It does the job. I mean, I'm done.
Yeah. Let me add, and
I'm done.
Sacred Sleeper said he would just buy a regular light beer and add lime to it. Hey, now somebody on Facebook said they bought some Bud Light and they added lime to it and it didn't taste right. They said, "Oh, I made a mistake. Next time I'll just buy Bud Light lime." That was their comment, that it didn't like mix correctly or something. But Jordan, reviewing under influence, the one you were drinking tonight, is that made in the United States, or is that one of those Labatt brewed brand?
It's Labatt. Yeah. Halifax, St. John's, Canada.
Yeah, no, not Molson, but Labatt Molson is 50-50 in combination with Coors. Labatt is...
Oh, Coors.
Yeah, Labatt is in association with Anheuser-Busch, actually.
Okay.
It's brewed in Nova Scotia by Labatt. He's going to go grab another. But, if Labatt Brewing Company has been brewing beer for so long, centuries, I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. And if Anheuser-Busch says, "Here's the recipe," I'm pretty sure Labatt can do it perfectly, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
In fact, Anheuser-Busch beers. In fact,
ours are twist off, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, it's a twist. It's not a twist off. It is or is not.
Oh, yeah, it's a twist off. I don't see that a lot, so it always surprises me.
Yeah, they're common in the United States of America. But I'm saying Anheuser-Busch products are very commonly contract brewed all over the world. So that's not anything strange. Now, Eric, you're going to give us your taste assessment, and then I'm going to give you mine, and then we'll go around to the finish, the body, and we know what the body's going to be like.
Yeah. So I'll leave that up to the imagination if nobody watching this can guess. It's definitely the light beer category for sure, 100% in its flavor profile. I'm getting that Sierra Mist, that lemon, limey, Sprite kind of flavor. I'm definitely picking those things up. Actually, now that I think about it, I think the smell had a little bit more sweetness, the aroma, than its actual taste. It's more like it has a hint of the squeezed lime, or just a little bit of the squeezed lime, almost into a club soda or like a seltzer water. It's really that kind of thing. I mean, it's got those characteristics of the Sierra Mist or the Sprite, but I think it's a little bit less sweet and more towards the tonic water, club soda, seltzer water kind of a flavor. And again, it's light and watery as hell. Again, I'm not really thinking that it's all original. I mean, it's all real and actual. Like if you squeeze the lime into the beer, it would taste that way. The one that we think of a lot is the Corona with the lime in it, and I think I like that sort of a flavor of beer much more than this. I think beers, obviously, like Miller Chill and now the Bud Light Lime, even though those beers, the Bud Light and the Miller Light, never were intended to have lime in it. I think they tried to get on that craze with Corona. And might I add, Corona never intended to do that. So it was sort of this thing that they did for X, Y, and Z reason, and the Americans were trying to catch up on that craze, and I'm not sure if they're doing it very well. Just to me, it's kind of tastes like a gimmick, And I think the Bud Light itself has much more of a stereotypical beer flavor than this. I think some of that lime is taking away from the Bud Light's natural flavor, if that's what you like. But other than that, it's not my favorite thing, but it's still pretty palatable.
Okay, now I think you're right about the Bud Light flavor being kind of pressed down by the lime flavor. But, and I think Bud Light has a pretty good taste for a light beer. Although, I'm going to get to about buying stuff in a little bit. Yeah, it's like really strong lime flavor. If you're into hop bitterness,
No.
you better run from this. You know, it has an undertaste of pretty high quality light beer, so that's why they say premium. Like Eric said, how come they always call these beers premium? Well, because it is premium. You want to drink a light beer that's not premium? Go get something from Minhas. Jordan said, "Why do you keep talking about Minhas? You're making me." I didn't read your comment yet on YouTube, but I think when I read the comment, it's going to be something like, "You're making me have flashbacks" or something like that.
Yeah, it was, you're making me have, like, deja vu, you know, and Minhas deja vu, I need to avoid as much as possible. Because that's like PSD, you know, like...
Yeah, it's a nightmare, but...
It's terrible.
Yeah, so this is a premium light beer. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I don't drink Bud Light because it's trash." I'm like, wait a minute. I can understand if you don't like the style, okay? I can deal with that. But come on, it is not trash. If you want trash, come walk with me. And I'll show you what trash is all about. And then if they drink the Minhas line of light beers, they'll drink Bud Light and think it's an awesome light beer.
Boxer lager, maybe?
There's another good example. That's from that outfit. And it's not, I'm not singling out Minhas, because there's a fairly good amount of companies that produce filth. Now, but I guess the one we're talking about is the exemplification of it. But this is okay. You know, tastes like lime-flavored light beer. What do you want to say?
I honestly think it comes down to does this beer flavor profile really something that you're seeking out? If you want that limey sort of a flavor, sort of that tropical, a little bit of a fruity flavor, then you're going to want to seek this beer out. If that's not what you're going for, you might just be better off just getting normal Bud Light. The question always comes up: is the variant better than the original? We say that a lot in craft beer. And to me personally, I'll reserve judgment until my name is called, but, you know, you got to make that call.
Well, you're sitting there right now. Why don't you just make the call? Would you buy it?
I will say that the variant of Bud Light Lime, to me personally, does not make Bud Light taste like a better beer. I don't think it's better than just normal Bud Light, to me.
So you would not buy it again?
No, I don't think that I think that the flavors of the Bud with the lime flavoring in the beer mask the typical light beer flavors that we come to expect from Bud Light.
Yeah, and Sacred Sleeper says, best-selling beer for a reason. Bud Light is quality beer compared to Kirkland's Minhas Light. Yuck. And I'm like, yeah, no joke. That is like...
Oh, I've heard of that. I haven't tried that yet.
My teeth, when he said that, and that came out of my mouth, Kirkland's Minhas, my teeth hurt for a second. All right.
I wouldn't buy it again, no.
We're going to go to Canada and then back to Tanya. Jordan, would you buy this again? I mean, it's a silly question, but...
Well, I'm a big craft beer nerd, and I like the big, crazy imperial stouts, the crazy, like, enamel, flesh-ripping sours. I love the mind-blowing IPAs, stuff like that. But that being said, I have never found anything wrong with Bud Light. It is really a perfect beer. I know I'm going to be a martyr in the craft beer community for saying it, and I say it proudly. I like Bud Light. I like Kokanee more, but Bud Light's great. Bud Light Lime tastes like a lime cider.
All right, Tanya, you can do that. Hold on. Yeah, we'll get to you in a second.
It goes down super smooth. I can tank it like...
Yeah, like he's doing. He's giving us a...
It's nothing. I mean, really nice flavors, though. I mean, the flavors to it, it does kind of taste like a soda pop. And I know you Americans say soda, we say pop, but soda pop.
In Louisiana, we say soft drink.
Soft drink. All right. Yeah, it tastes like a lime soft drink.
I didn't say, wait. Back up. I didn't say soft drink. I said soft drink.
I had to unmute myself so you could hear the raucous laughter. Okay.
Yeah, you know, an ink pen.
The rest of us, I'm gonna drink my lime soft drink.
I'm back, soft drink, y'all.
This will be the last examination.
We're just kidding, but yeah, it's a really nice beer. I would buy it again. I mean, I had it a while back, like 5 years ago, and I hated it, and I was like, oh, it's macro shit and all that stuff, but it's awesome. Like, I could drink this all the time just for a quick pick-me-up, 2 seconds of just chugging and having a good time, you know? It's awesome. I'd definitely buy it again. I'd rate it like a 90. It's really good.
Okay, excellent. And he is looking at it in context, people.
Okay.
A lot of people cannot look at stuff within context. Okay, now.
Well, the style, buddy.
Right. I'm talking
style
about.
of fruited light beer, it can't get much better than this.
That's what I'm talking about. You're looking at it in the context of the style in which it exists. Okay, Eric and Rafe, we know how it finishes. We know it's going to finish crisp, clean, and refreshing. We know that. We don't need to keep repeating it. So would y'all buy it again? You two?
I don't know. Like, if I want to lime my beer, most likely I'd get a bunch of Tecate, pretty cheap, Tecate, and put some lime in my Tecate. You know what I mean? Or, I'd go and get, like, if I'm going to drink beer like this, I'm going to go buy, like, a 24-pack of, like, Pacifico or, Corona or Bohemia or Tecate, and drop some lime in there, and probably prefer it a little bit over this and have a little bit more alcohol content. I mean, maybe in a specific situation I would, because I don't hate the beer, but more likely I would get something else for cheaper and add lime to it. And probably something else too, like make it more like a michelada or something. But that'd be more likely for me. But I can see why other people would buy it. To me, though, it doesn't make sense because I could spend an extra 60, 70 cents and get, Indica IPA, which is an excellent beer. And
that's kind of like comparing apples and oranges.
I mean, I do appreciate it for the style and for what it is intended to be.
Yeah.
But I'd probably rather get a Mexican beer and add lime to it if I had the option.
Right.
I agree with Eric. The only point I would add is that on a hot day, if you're working outdoors and you want to chug something down, it's got a nice fruity flavor to it. Alcohol content's kind of low. Also if you're driving around, you could probably pour it into a Gatorade bottle.
No.
You could probably drink 6 or 7 of them. You'd be good to go. You could still do your job. So.
That's what we Canadians call booze cruising, buddy.
You mean you're talking about road sodas?
This does taste like a road soda.
But within the style, you know, it's kind of tastes good. I'd buy it. I'd buy it. If I don't have much money that day and I can't get a IPA that I like, a Lagunitas is my favorite, I'll get it. I'll buy this.
You would even buy this over like a Busch Light or a Bud Light or a Netty Light.
Yeah, I like it better than straight Bud Light.
I know Bud and like Bud Lime and stuff like that is pretty cheap out there, eh? In U.S.
Yeah.
It was $2.50 for a tall can for me.
Yeah, like out here, craft beer costs less than macro beer. So when Bud Light Lime 6-pack costs $16.50.
What? We can get
Ballast Point Sculpin for $16.
Yeah, and you're getting a 12-pack. I mean, it's insane. But the craft beer, the local beer here, even imported from the U.S., is a couple dollars more. The local stuff is a couple dollars less. So that being said, I would still buy it.
How much is a 6-pack of Molson?
Molson Canadian out here is $12. Of course, our dollar is terrible. It's about $8 American is 12 Canadian out here. So
that's bad.
Thanks, liberals.
Right, because they don't understand.
I voted for the other guy.
Wait a minute. You know what? I don't think that's fair. Do not pick on liberals just because they don't understand economics.
Burn, Eric Anderson. Burn.
I'm going to try to take up for them. I do not pick on people that don't understand economics. Now, but anyway.
I got an A in all of my economics classes, and through college and in high school.
Burn.
So I did very well in economics. Just putting that out there, and I, definitely supporting Bernie Sanders and liberal. Silence, and everyone's about to kill me.
Right. Okay.
Well, I think politically, I think Bernie Sanders was a great guy. I mean, he's a great politician, had some good values, but I'm hardcore far right, so.
Well, we better get off of that before we start unfriending each other on Facebook.
We're having a beer summit tonight, everybody.
Drink enough. Well, let me tell the audience, they've drank enough to where it's getting crazy with you know how in a bar room they'll drink and they'll start talking politics, then they start throwing chairs and fighting. Now, we're going to go to Eric Fraunfelter and then Tanya and then myself. Would you buy it again, Eric Fraunfelter?
I would not buy this again. I would rather drink unflavored light beer instead.
Excellent. Tanya?
You know, I don't like light beer. And mostly because I don't care about calories. Clearly, if and I also like beer flavor. What was that?
Amen.
Yeah. So I would, so I don't really prescribe to the light beer subject, and I think if I was going to put a line in something, it would be a Corona or a Land Shark. I like Land Shark a lot as far as hot weather beer. It's cool that it comes in a can because then you could take it to the beach or take it to the pool, but right. But realistically, if it doesn't come in a can, I'll pour it in a cup and take it to the beach or to the pool with me anyway. So that really isn't even an argument. I don't know. I don't think I would ever buy it again. I would drink it at somebody's party, probably over a lot of other options if this was there. Other options being Bud Light, Coors. I had Coors Light and I didn't hate it, but it's all right, I guess, for what it is. Wouldn't buy it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny for me to say I wouldn't buy it again because I wouldn't buy light beer in general again. I just don't buy light beer, okay? So that's kind of a qualifier. The only light beer I ever buy on purpose is Milwaukee's Best Light. And that is because Milwaukee's Best Light is, well, yeah, it's cheap. I can get a 30-pack for $17.50. But the second thing is Milwaukee's Best Light has a higher IBU rating than other light beers. In other words, all the other light beers are 1 out of 5 hop cones on the Cyclops scale, but Milwaukee's Best Light is 2 out of 5 hop cones. So it has, I always said that before I ever found out about the Cyclops scale. I used to always tell people, you ever drink Milwaukee's Best Light? It's a hoppier beer. It has this interesting hoppy bitterness. And people were like, you're cuckoo. What are you talking about? But then when I saw that on the Cyclops scale, I was like, yeah, I knew I was right.
You didn't say hoppy. You said hoppier.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It has a relatively higher hop presence.
Or light style lager.
Plus it's light, and it's enjoyable. Okay. The only time I would ever buy Bud Light Lime on purpose, and I do like it, it's okay, you know, I'm not hating it. If I went to a party, now I know you don't live in southeastern Louisiana, but I do. If I went to a barbecue or a party around here, and I brought something like Founders Session IPA, you know that really good Session IPA?
I have that in my fridge right now.
Because most Session IPAs are garbage. In my opinion, most Session IPAs are trash. But I say that on my videos. But Founders Session IPA is quality. It's good, okay?
Oh, Founders is great beer.
I had their breakfast steak for the first time.
But if I brought a 12-pack of Founders Session IPA to a party, they would get so mad and say, why are you such a weirdo, you freak? Why can't you bring something good? Why do you have to be so odd? But if I went to a party with a 12-pack of this, everybody would be like, yay, you're the hero of the party.
I get the opposite reaction when I
brought something good, you're not a nut. You know, I'm just telling you, that's the Louisiana culture. If you bring Bud Light or Bud Light Lime,
that's how it differs so much from Canada, is we know good beer, we just don't want to pay it, you know, and everyone drinks Coors Light and stuff like that, and they drink a 12-pack of it, and they just go whatever, and I bring, like, craft beer to a party, and they love it, you know, and they're like, yeah, but you can only drink 2 or 3. What I want is a 12-pack that I can drain in like 2 hours, you know.
Some of these people would probably really actually say that they liked the beer that you gave them, but in my experience, I don't think that any of those people would ever actually go to the store and buy it.
Right.
Oh, they do.
But in Louisiana, believe me, it's Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite.
Again, I think the difference is because people want the cheapest stuff, you know, and out here the macro beers are more expensive than the local beer.
That's crazy.
So it's really good for local business, and yeah, I mean it's the exact opposite of the U.S.
Right.
But of course, we're bloody socialists, so.
Right.
Amen.
But Jordan.
So
we can do a politics hangout another night. But Jordan.
not politics, but I'm just curious. A macro beer, like what is a typical beer that you drink often up there that you consider quality beer? What's a go-to beer for you up there?
Well, macro beer that I consider quality is first off this, because I came
micro. Sorry, I said macro, but I meant micro.
Micro beer. I mean anything. I mean the local brewery. You can't get. we're very regional out here.
Yeah.
We say Alberta beer is for Albertans, and nothing beyond that. So I have to buy these beers,
What's like the
ship
average
them out to
price?
friends.
Average price for a 6-pack.
$12, $13.
So that you say that translates to about 8 or 9 here.
Yeah, and the thing is, macro beer is about 15 to 18 a 6-pack.
That's insane.
Yes, in Canada, the craft beer is cheaper than the macro beer, so it's like upside down. But
yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah. Now, so, all right. Well, we don't want to drag it out too much longer. So we're going to take a week off next week, but the week after we're looking at oh, I almost forgot, Hofbrau Original.
Yay.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go to like Bevmo and Venturas when we get
That's
that.
a dynamite beer, you know, Hofbrau.
Got mine already.
Any final thoughts on this item? Bud Light Lime.
Well, today is actually the first day of meteorological summer, so yeah, have fun drinking your Bud Lights on the first day of summer to the Weather Channel and people like that out there.
Like I said, sorry for cursing. I don't recall any cursing. I did see Mars 2 nights ago. Hey, any last comments?
Yeah.
Tanya, Jordan, Eric, Ray?
I gotta say, I hate light beer. I absolutely hate it, and I'm a craft beer drinker and stuff like that. But I actually do love this beer. I mean, I came into it expecting to hate it because Bud Light, I do enjoy it once in a while, but most light products I hate. Like Keystone, frickin' Corona Light. Why? Like I drink it and I just ask why? Why does this exist? And I realized with this one is because you can drink it in 3 seconds flat with your muscles crossed. That's why you drink it.
All right, last chance for a comment.
I got one suggestion. I think that it's important maybe to add to the categories the corn syrup effect. You know, I think it's important to bring that to the viewer's attention. You know, that are they aware that they're drinking corn syrup or not? Can they taste the difference?
Do we know for a fact that there is corn syrup? I didn't know you.
Yeah, we know for a fact. But Budweiser, every brand of Budweiser has corn syrup.
Yeah, they say in the
No, wait.
I'm going to add something to this one. I'm the kind of guy who drinks 3 frickin' bombers of Imperial IPAs, Imperial Stouts in one night. A little bit of corn syrup isn't going to do me harm.
I agree. But for the people out there that are only drinking this stuff, they might want to check it out.
But Rafe, most of your Budweiser branded beers are using rice, not corn syrup.
This one actually says that they use on the Tap Into Your Beer website, which is an Anheuser-Busch InBev website for all your beer information. They say that they use water, barley malt, corn or rice, hop extract, high fructose corn syrup, citric acid, natural flavor, and yeast.
Yep.
So they say they use both of those ingredients.
Uh-oh.
Well, again, the more information for you is better than not having that information.
It tastes like it's soda.
Wait. Tanya wants to say something. Tanya?
I'm curious, you know, when I bottle a lot of homebrew, they give you 4 ounces of corn sugar that you're supposed to use, and if you put corn sugar into water, it's corn syrup. You know, that's its whole point. And so I'm curious if that's the use of it. I mean, is it for carbonation purposes? Is it?
It's an addictive thing.
I think it's just
I can't understand. What?
I think it's just to make it lighter in flavor. Corn and rice make it lighter in body and in flavor, so you can have something like this that you can just drain. you know.
Well, I know it's great though. It's definitely an addictive thing. Like it definitely helps. It helps you pound it fast. Your body is like, yes, and give me more, and then you want more of it, like naturally. I definitely think that that's part of it. I mean, it makes it more drinkable, and it makes it seem more attractive to drink more of it. It's definitely.
Well, you think the purpose of the corn is to sweeten the beer?
Corn syrup.
Corn syrup. Corn syrup specifically is to sweeten the beer, not for carbonation or fermentation of sugars.
Wait a minute. We don't want to get all off onto that, but
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
I will say this, because we can't go any further. If somebody wants to learn about the use of adjuncts, corn syrup, which is actually, they use something you cannot buy at the store. It's called brewer's syrup. It's dextrose. You can't go to your local grocery store and say, I would like to buy a gallon of brewer's syrup. You're not going to be able to get it. Okay, so it's different than what you're talking about. You can use rice also. There's a whole really good article, a very detailed and good article on Moosehead's Beer Academy, and I would recommend anybody reading this. It's called Why Do Brewers Use, forget Food Babe, please get that off my page, but why do brewers use adjuncts? And I would recommend anybody read that very detailed article by Moosehead's Brewers Academy, and if you can't find it, let me know and I'll help you find it. Why do they use adjuncts? It's a very interesting article, and I think
I'm looking for it now.
It would enlighten people. But anyway, I appreciate y'all joining us. We can't go on forever, although when you start drinking beer and hanging out, you do want to go on forever because that's like we're hanging out at a bar, but yet we're not at a bar because we're scattered all over North America. But anyway, so thank y'all for joining me, and I think we'll do this again.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having Rafe and me.
Thank you, Ray, for joining us. Thank you, Eric and Jordan and Tanya and Jean. And
5,000 miles away and still get to hang out with y'all.
Right. And don't forget, Hofbrau Original, and after that, Chimay White.
Oh, yeah.
The premier. So get ready for some excellence.
I may be able